Off a late rally by the Diamondbacks and win that third game minutes ago. 7-4 was the final downtown. So they'll start up against the Astros again here at home tomorrow night. First of four, 7-10 here on MMS. Keep in mind, all this month, if you're looking to get some gear from CLE Clothing Company, you want to use the promo code
Radio
for 20% off. Whatever you buy at CLE Clothing Company throughout the month of August, in which there are 31 days, I think, right? August hath 31 days? Yes, 31 days. Oh, only 4 weeks from today will be the last day of August. Will we be in our brand new studios?
I hope so.
Who knows? If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio from anywhere outside Ohio, tell me where. Or, like the far corners of Ohio. I do hear from people there.
Like Cincinnati?
I mean, I think we've got people in Cincinnati.
I imagine we do.
Aren't you going to be there tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Go Bananas Comedy Club.
It's called Go Bananas.
Go Bananas. That comedy club is bananas.
Is that in a hip part of Cincinnati?
Yes. Montgomery Place, I believe.
I don't know anything about Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's pretty hip.
So you'll be in...
They did a whole renovation on the club during quarantine, and so it's looking good. I haven't been there in years. I worked there a bunch of times back when I was on the road, and one of the coolest things I ever did there was they did a tribute to Mitch Hedberg. I think it was a year after he passed away. And they did these tributes all over the country, and one of Mitch's favorite clubs was Go Bananas. So they had one in New York, they had one in L.A., they had one in Minneapolis where he was from, and then they had one
Oh, it was
Go
a chain?
No.
Oh, the tributes.
The tributes.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
And I got picked as one of the comics that got to, maybe it was 5 years after he passed away. It was a few years after he passed away. But I was part of that tribute.
So he died in 05.
Yeah. So it was probably 2010. Mm-hmm. Probably 2010, 2000, something like that. But I was part of that tribute, and it was an honor. It's one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. And you got to do a set, and then you got to do one of your favorite Mitch Hedberg jokes at the end of your set, and I did the I don't need a receipt for a donut joke. It was very cool. It was very cool.
I don't need it, right.
And I told the story about how
I haven't slept for 10 days because that would be too long.
I also got to tell a story about how my first week ever on the road was the day that he passed away. So like my first show on the road, he died that day. And I was in Denver.
Yeah.
In a little suburb outside of Denver at a club called Wits End.
Yep.
And I had this moment where I told the story like this, and I was like, well, it's up to me now.
It's all up to me.
It's like, all right, he passed away, but don't worry, someone's taking his place. But
the torch has been passed.
Exactly.
That's right.
It got a good laugh. It's funny.
No, I only have him on my show one time when I was in Pittsburgh. He did the Pittsburgh Improv. And then years later, his wife was on some kind of...
right?
Lynn, yeah, his wife, Lynn Shawcroft, was on some kind of something. I had her on when I was on in Chicago, but I only met Mitch one time, and he was exactly how you think he would be.
Yep.
And boy, but you talk about a guy who... It's one thing to go too soon, quote unquote, but I mean, this was a guy who was like... Everything was ready. It was going to open up for him.
It was already open.
But he couldn't get, he couldn't get his arms around his issues. He had a sitcom deal and the whole thing.
Now he's doing theater tours.
Yeah.
He was blowing up. And him and Greg Giraldo are two of the ones that have hit me the hardest.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrice, of course, too, but those guys, I'd watch their Comedy Central presents again and again and again.
I'm not anti-cop. I used to be when I was young, but not now. I'm 41. I own shit. I like cops. Cops are here for people that own shit. I don't hate cops like I used to hate cops, because that's no one else to call when a nigga... When you own shit, this is a young table. When you own shit, you'll like the cops. Trust me. When I was young, holy bro. 26. Well, you're getting close. What's your credit? Credit good? Credit's good. Did you buy anything yet? You own anything? What do you own? That don't count. You know what I miss, slick bastard, but it's all right. There's a lot of white people here. Pick up yourself. I own What do you own? And the thing is, you didn't want a straight lie, so you said a car. And there's white people sitting right here going, oh, boy. Congratulations, nigga, you own a car. Yes, you work hard, young man.
I bought a donut, and they gave me a receipt for the donut.
There it is.
I don't need a receipt for a donut. I'll just give you the money. You give me the donut. And the transaction. We don't need to bring ink and paper into this. I just cannot imagine a scenario where I'd have to prove that I bought a donut. Some skeptical friend, don't even act like I didn't get that donut. I got the documentation right here. Oh, wait, it's back home in the fire. Underneath the donut.
So you had to do that verbatim.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to do it,
Yeah.
but it was, it was still a lot of fun because once I started it, a lot of people joined in the audience. It was a really cool night.
I remember probably 6 or 7 years ago, there was a guy working at a donut shop in Chicago who went viral because he printed out that joke on the bottom of all of the people's receipts at the donut shop. So at the very bottom would be the transcription of the Mitch Hedberg joke. So, yeah, there you go.
There's some.
How did we get on Mitch Hedberg?
Bureau chiefs in Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati. Oh, right. We took a long and circuitous route, but there we are. Wherever you listen on the app, tell me where. Steve listens in Fort Hood, Texas. Yeah, Bill's going to be from our Cincinnati studios tomorrow and Friday.
Yes.
So you know what that means,
Could somebody
Cody?
give me some details on that? Because I haven't
I
got
know.
any yet.
I was talking to the Muckety Mucks
Yeah.
this morning about it, so hopefully that's in the works. You know what that means, Poundcake?
I don't.
Just you and me here tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to be my little concubine over there.
Separate but equal, right?
That has historical connotations that I'm a little uncomfortable with, but...
Now you know how I feel about lower.
You and I will be the only people physically here. Bill will be in our Cincinnati studios, and Sean listens in West Haven, Utah. He's a recent transplant, by the way. I like when people update me on where they're going. He was in Ann Arbor, and he moved to West Haven, Utah. Ronnie listens in Statesville, North Carolina. Dr. S is in St. Louis, and Chad listens in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Down there with Amos Moses. You can always leave us messages, too, if you listen on the app. A little red talkback button there.
Alan, this is Alex, okay? Now, everybody listening to your show knows that Bill does not do a good impression, okay? What they're not telling you is that when he's doing this horrible impression...
Oh, he's doing Alex Jones. I didn't
He's
understand.
doing me doing Alex Jones.
Oh, I didn't okay.
Alan, this is Alex, okay? Now, everybody listening to your show knows that Bill does not do a good impression, okay? What they're not telling you is that when he's doing this horrible impression of me, it's getting the liberal Democrats up my ass, okay? Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to be on Cleveland's #1 drive time afternoon radio talk show and get made fun of and doing bad impressions? Okay, and people are coming up to me in the grocery stores and shaking my hands, okay? Bill, stop it. You don't sound like me at all.
Wow, all right. I didn't even
like
know
that
that you
guy.
did an impression, Bill.
You didn't know they do an
I've
impression
only
of
heard
me?
Alex Jones do things
No.
here on the show when he checks in. Are you following that trial?
Oh, I saw a little bit. The
It
update
is
just now.
bananas.
Like
His
3 hours
manager
ago, he goes,
accidentally.
well, I just saw that he said, well, I 100% believe now.
There's a lot
I
of
think it's
video.
an okay. I wouldn't say horrible. I'd say it's medium.
There's a woman named Kathy Russon, Russon. Follow her on Twitter because she's a producer for Law and Crime Network, which is a cable channel. And she has been posting video from the courtroom and Alex Jones's testimony. It is wild. Listen, this guy has got to play the character all the way through. But I don't understand why they're not, like, arresting him or something. Because the judge is like, look, They've shown him that he keeps lying on the stand. She's like, this is not, I'll play the clip. There's all these clips. This isn't your show. You're under oath. You have to tell the truth. He has no friends in this courtroom, by the way. I don't even know if his own lawyer cares. Everyone has got knives out for Alex Jones. This is that Sandy Hook trial. They're trying to determine how much he owes these families. They're like, you're not really bankrupt. You're faking that. He was saying a couple of weeks ago he couldn't show up in person because he had a really bad cough. Mm-hmm. So the judge in this case has a bowl of lozenges on the corner of her desk that he can reach up and take. But he's still doing his show, where every day he's talking about how, like, the judge in this case is she's sitting right next to him when he's in court. And then he goes on InfoWars and he's like, she's following the script.
You may not say to this jury that you complied with discovery. That is not true. You may not say it again. You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is also not true. You may have filed for bankruptcy. I don't know that, but I've heard that. That doesn't make a person or a company bankrupt. You're already under oath to tell the truth. You've already violated that oath twice today in just those two examples. It seems absurd to instruct you again that you must tell the truth while you testify.
The reason she's doing this, and the reason she knows this, by the way, is because his legal team accidentally sent a bunch of texts and emails to the prosecution. After Alex Jones said that he didn't have any Sandy Hook texts, didn't have any, I don't use email. They're like, well, we've got email here from you to. So if that was you or me, we'd be hauled off for perjury.
I think
this judge is, I know this is just to determine what his financial liability is.
But won't they add those charges on? Don't they have to go through the charge? I don't know how perjury actually works.
You're lying under oath.
Well, I know that's what it is.
Yeah.
But do they have to do a whole nother thing for that?
Now, according to that woman on the Tinder date.
Because she's not holding him in contempt.
Right.
I think that's when they haul you out of the room. But if you
everyone in here is holding Alex Jones in contempt. Yeah. She doesn't need to do it.
Yet here I am. You must tell the truth while you testify. This is not your show. You need to slow down and not take what you see as opportunities to further the message you're wanting to further.
See, they're trying to tell him, look, we know what you're doing here, because then you go back on the air every day and go, these people are railroading me. They showed the jury video of him on his show making fun of the jury.
Dude, take a couple days off your show.
He can't. He's got to sell them supplements.
He has to work. I mean, if he's going to pay this, I'm okay with him going to work. I think he should be like, oh, well, my legal team, my representatives, my counsel has instructed me not to speak about the case. That's all you do. And then you go on and complain about whatever else is going on in the world. Plenty of people have done that. Like, I can't talk about the case, a pending case.
He doesn't have that ability, though. He can't shut up.
Yeah. What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taken from?
I don't know whose phone's taken from. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take the stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner? Is that your phone number?
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't.
That's not read.
Yes, Mr. Jones. Oh. Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years?
By the way, they have to inform his counsel.
Yeah.
So for discovery. So they told them, and the guy said, Alex Jones' lawyer didn't tell them that it was privileged because they could do that. This is privileged. We don't want you to. They didn't tell him that. So the closing arguments on this were today. But they're showing video from his shows where he's got the judge's face and then like fire on it. The judge is sitting right next to him. So he goes off and does the show and then comes back in and sits. Now there's no downside for him in this because the people who like what he does just go, yeah, he's
there's a
sticking it to
downside
him.
when he has to pay $150 million.
It's never going to happen. And he knows that's never going to happen. He's already filed for bankruptcy. He's going the OJ route.
Judge Maya Gamble comes from CPS, who has been exposed for human trafficking and working with pedophiles.
That's what you mean when you say you're taking this seriously.
Yeah, they show the jury this video we put together that the judge in this case comes from Child Protective Services. And to
so
them,
she's not
that
gonna
means
mess around.
pedophile. Yeah, she's a pedophile.
Most of last week, pretty much every day last week.
I did an hour here. I taped some as well.
Okay. And you've been screaming and yelling on your show, right?
Yes, just like the media's been doing that.
Okay. Haven't been coughing on your show, have you? All these coughs in court, they don't happen on the full hour of your show. You don't ever cough, right?
I mean, I've got cough drops right here in my pocket. I've got a...
By the way, if anything, Alex Jones sounds like a guy who's always coughing. You think that'd be the one thing the jury could believe? This guy sounds like he gargles with broken automotive glass, you know? There's a bowl of lozenges.
Yeah, he goes to the Tom Waits School of Throat Care.
That's right.
I've got laryngitis and a torn larynx. I mean, it comes and goes. It starts burning, and then it's uncontrollable. And I have actually been coughing a lot on air. If you guys have been watching my show, we'll have a cough button I can step on and cough. There's a button I step on. And
By the way, who has a step-on cough button? Who
When
has a
you
cough
cough
button on the
as
floor?
much as Alex Jones, you want it on your foot, and he's got it.
Cough
He
buttons
talks
are
with his
always
hands.
cough buttons are on your board.
He's not a regular.
He does it a
performer.
different way,
and he
right.
doesn't have a board. I'm sure. He's not controlling his board. He's got somebody else controlling his board.
I see.
He's got a cough pedal.
That is true. He does. He said that he was testifying because they're like, you lied about a lot of stuff, and he said that it was because he was under a lot of pressure and was getting bad information from people that he trusted. We're in a country with more firearms than people, but somehow this guy can't believe a bunch of kids got killed. That was clearly staged. Can't believe.
To refer you to the end of 2014. We've had a video received in evidence.
Well, that's a whole other thing, but I mean, but anyway, the videos are wild. In this, both sides, I think, closed their arguments today.
You and your company want the world to believe that this judge is rigging this court proceeding so that a script, and I mean a literal script, is being followed. That's what you want the world to believe. That's what InfoWars wants.
I believe when you're given a court order that you cannot say you're innocent, that's not America, and the court order's right there on the table. I've been told I can't say I'm innocent.
So you need to answer the question that is asked.
I asked you this question. Yes or no, that's what you want the world to believe.
No, I believe the jury's real, and I believe that I'm innocent until proven guilty, and I believe the jury should decide my guilt.
Oh, baby, baby, oops, I did it again. I play with your heart. Got lost in the game. Oh, baby, baby, oops, you think I'm in love, that I'm sent from above.
Is this the guy who just called us?
I'm not that innocent.
That's the guy who just called us.
Yep.
Wow. Well, there you go. But anyway, wild stuff in the Alex Jones trial. Who knows what will happen there? But you've got to play that character the whole time. He can't go to court and go, look, I made this all up. Everybody knows I made it all up.
Didn't he admit that he made it up? Or not made it up, he said he believes it now.
Yes, before, when he thought he could still get out of having to pay tens of millions of dollars, he figured, because then I guess he was like talking with some of the families yesterday after the testimony, and it got heated, and, he's trying to play nice, but then the parents are like, yeah, we don't really want to have these conversations with you. And then he starts screaming and ranting because I'm sure he's got somebody out in the hallway filming. And it's pretty wild. I've got to take a break. If you want to text for something, 35192 to do that. Anywhere you are, you can listen to the show on the iHeartRadio